Yeah. Woo! Podcast for sci-fi. Tune in, let's talk. Hosted by Moose Magic, Mike, and Game God. Yeah, talking everything sci-fi. So turn up your radio, bringing you that extra, like extra terrestrial. From movies to comics, plenty interviews, we got it. From Long Live and Prosper to Beam Me Up Scotty. You're in the right place if it's sci-fi you like. Yeah, where all things sci-fi come to life. Woo! Podcast for sci-fi. Let's go.
Podcast for sci-fi. That's right. I was ducking under to get my cord. I have to plug up my phone. I was like, oh my goodness, my phone is dead. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Facebook Live Podcast for Sci-Fi pre-show. That's we call it the pre-game.
You need to get your assistant to do all that work, man. You over there struggling over there. You get your. That's what we pay them for.
Normally, it's it's a little different, but normally all that stuff is done. But
hey, Dave in the house. Welcome, Dave.
Hey, welcome. How's it going?
Like I said, it's time. Like when UFC.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's time.
We should get him to introduce us, Moose. That's our next.
Oh yes,
our next intro. Bruce Buffer.
He sits in the middle of the podcast world.
Yeah, there are a lot of people in podcasts nowadays. I don't know if you know this. This is a serious piece. This is a serious topic. Yeah. A lot of people are into podcasting. A lot of stars, a lot of celebrities. I don't know what you want to call them, stars, celebrities, whatever. A lot of Oscar winners. They're into podcasting. I was looking at a resume. I was looking at people to get on the show, and as I go down the list of them, and I look at like a blurb of them, I don't know, somebody like LeVar Burton. Okay. We all know who LeVar Burton is, right?
Mm-hmm. Reading Rainbow.
Yes. Okay. Well, see, what comes to mind is not Reading Rainbow for me initially. It's Star Trek. But yes. Thank you for that, Game God.
I'm younger. I'm still.
What else? What else has he been in, Game God?
He's been in Star Trek and he's been in Reading Rainbow. And a whole bunch of other side shows that I may have not watched.
Anyway, so as it goes on, like it starts to list some of his accolades, and one of them is a podcaster. And I'm like, wow, listen, look at this, really? A legitimate actor. Roots is that I was going to name that to him, Dave, but he didn't know. I was going to, hey, Gene, welcome. Yes, exactly. But that's the thing is that I just thought this is a veteran actor who can act. He's good. He's talented.
He nailed Reading Rainbow.
He probably has books. I'm sure that was an author was on somewhere on there. He probably directs or has written episodes for somebody else. And then all of a sudden, podcaster. I'm like, I've got to update my resume. I've got to put a podcaster on my resume.
You do. You need to put that on there.
It should be first. It's the thing to do best. Maybe not. I don't know. That may not be true. So anyway, Mike, Magic Mike does dye his roots. As you could tell in his beard, I've shaved my beard off. I don't know if you noticed that, Dave.
No, I can't. It looks white either way.
I'm actually just growing it back. It looks white. You still have a full brown beard, which I don't understand. I don't even.
And I'm still trying to find a Sharpie to connect this.
Yeah.
Well, and it turns red a little bit, actually.
You go to the fine tips. Mine used to have like 12 colors in it. And so now it's down to like 3. So it's not too bad. But sometimes I dye mine. But don't tell anybody.
Hey, I like the Silver Fox move you got going on, Moose.
You like that? Was it? Right there? Yeah. Can you see it? Do you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah,
I see it.
And that's not on purpose either.
I don't even know what you said. It's okay though. All right.
Just laugh. Just laugh.
Yeah. Okay.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Calico beard. Yeah, it was more. That's exactly what it was like. It literally was like, I should be the Calico Man.
Put that on your resume too.
I'm gonna put that on my resume. Calico. I'll put Calico beard on my resume. Actually, that'll be
podcaster Silver Fox Calico beard.
That's it. Boom. Done.
Who wouldn't hire you for a movie?
I'm on the IMDb, so you should be able to find me.
Yeah. I've seen what you've been on.
Don't look. Please don't look. Don't Google. Don't Google IMDb. Moose podcast or stuff. All right. So anyway, should we get? I guess.
Yeah, this is.
Let's get started.
Let's do something fun.
Long pregame.
Oh, here we go. Keep talking. Hit the mute button. On this episode, you're going to hear all about theaters in the U.S. Will they exist in 2021? We have some opinions on that and some facts. And who's faster, Superman or other people in the DC universe? And how about Xbox with their new release? It's already overheating. What to say about that? Well, first this.
According to Wikipedia, a nerd is a person seen as overly intellectual, obsessive, introverted, or lacking social skills. Many so-called nerds are described as being shy, quirky, pedantic, and unattractive. We're here to prove Wikipedia right.
Oh, look who they let in.
This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. If it's fantasy, sci-fi, gaming, movies, interviews, we're talking about it. We're talking about it. This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, and here's your host, Moose, Game God, and Magic Mike.
Welcome to Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. That's right. I am your host, Moose, as you can tell by the name bar right there below my picture. For those who are joining us on the Facebook live stream, you can see all these wonderful things. Tonight, we got Game God Magic Mike here. This is episode number 270. I can't believe we are talking about movies and how theaters may not be around in the future. What say ye of this?
Well, first of all, Moose, I want to tell you thank you for the sanitation.
PPE
Sanitation.
number one. Yes, thank
Thanks
you.
for picking up my garbage, Moose. I appreciate that.
But man, I can't believe where we're at, man. Times have changed so quickly in 2020. What do you think, Mike?
Of course, they've changed so quickly. Everything is changing so quickly, not just what we're going to talk about tonight. I mean, think about it. Everything you have to do is just different, period. And so now you may not even be able to go to the theaters. That's a big deal, I think, right?
Yeah, I think it's a big deal. Obviously, the COVID-19 thing has affected so many businesses all over the world, but particularly in the U.S., I read a report just a few days ago that said that AMC Theaters is expected to run out of money in 6 months. And there's a lot of people, I would think, who should be behind AMC Theaters. AMC is the number one chain in the United States. Yeah, so they go down and out of business. That's bad news for the movie industry. And the number 3 player has already said that that's Regal. They've already said that no, we're not opening back up, and we won't be opening back up in the future.
So I'm gonna correct you real quick. Regal's 2, Cinemark's 3. So the 1 and the 2 are the ones in trouble right now. And it
I thought Cinemark is 2. You sure?
Yes, Cinemark is 3.
We won't.
Cinemark.
I won't debate it until I prove you wrong. But
so with them two hitting the 1-2 punch of them not being able to have money per se, you start to think, where are the movie studios in this? Are they going to let this happen? Are they going to let their biggest provider of their funds say, "Hey, we're going to let you go"?
That's my thing, is that they've got to have people from the background in the movie industry in Hollywood. There's a lot of people there with a lot of money. They should be able to fund AMC, because if they don't, they won't be producing movies the way that we see them now. It'll be a completely different story.
Yeah, you guys jumped right to that piece. I wasn't prepared for that. I thought we were going to do a little more about the what's going on with them.
A little bit of dance. Oh, okay, yes.
Well, no, I guess I was just, because as an example, AMC says they might be done in 6 months. But here's the thing: I looked at some information. Even last year, as of 2019, they lost money then as well. And so, how are they saying, okay, well, we lost money here, and this is really what's doing? So I'm not sure I believe it just yet. I wonder if this is a power move or a power play for these theaters to come in and say, hey guys, because if you remember, we talked about this last year, specifically with Star Wars, and 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 with the fact that theaters just got to suck it up. The movies are going to ask for this much. The producers, the creators, they're going to ask for this much. You're just going to have to live with that, or else don't show the movie, and you're going to miss out. So now we might see something in reverse here, where there is a power play for the theaters to say, you know what, if you want to be able to make the funds that you did in the past, you're going to have to come off of that, or you're going to have to jump in and help, because what Tenet that just came recently, I think they did 20 million domestic, 150 global.
Yeah.
So that's when all these delays started happening, which we'll get into later. But the point being is that
I'll get into it now. Yeah, you can talk about it now, but keep going.
Yeah, so with this being the case, and this was by Christopher Nolan, who is well known. This is supposed to be a big hit, and it doesn't mean it's not a big hit. It just means people can't watch it at the theater. So something has to change. I think we're going to start to see that power shift. And as Dave even mentioned, you might be surprised some up and coming mom and pop theaters that are able to stay afloat versus, because we've the opposite of what we thought, where the big ones we thought would stay afloat while the mom and pops went out.
So I'm gonna unpack a little bit what you
I
got there, Mike. Yeah, I'm
okay.
gonna unpack a little bit what you got there, Mike. I wanna unpack what he said there. First and foremost, AMC, their credit rating is taking a tumble. So you said you want to see this start to happen. This is happening now. So they're on the to get a little business S&P. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So on the S&P market, they just officially got a downgrade on their credit. So that's not good. Number two, when you look at Tenet, when it released, Tenet was like the test market, the test to test the waters. And when that happened to you, what you just said, Mike, when that happened, everybody said, "Oh no. I spent $250 million making this movie. I'm not doing this. Look how many times Wonder Woman got pushed back. This is the third time that it got pushed back. And I'm not going there. I'm not going there yet. Yeah, I'm not going there yet. But it's crazy how that's happening. And then the other piece to what you just said, Mike, and Gene said in the chat room, where's driving theaters in this? And I got to tell you, driving movie theaters, they're on the rise. They're on the rise.
So let's go circle back to what Magic Mike just said. He talked about mom and pops. So this is a theory that I have, and I think that mom and pops have the biggest advantage right now over the large, because one, the capital is small potatoes compared to AMC and Game God. You're absolutely correct. Cinemark is no, I don't know. I just wanted to give you. I just want to see if you would take credit for it again. But no, you're right. I think that Magic Mike, you're right. That I think that mom and pops are in a good position here because they don't have to release new movies. What they do have to do is just release in the theater, just any movie. So if you're showing, the 40th anniversary of The Empire Strikes Back, Star Wars, or if you're showing, Back to the Future, or if you're showing, the first Matrix, like whatever you're showing, that's it.
Put it in 4K. Put it in 4K.
Well, I don't think it matters. I mean, can you imagine that, your kids won't have a movie experience in the future, or your grandkids won't have, and I say it like that because it's the future. You just don't know. Yeah, and I think that's a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
They may not have but here's another thing though. So I'm gonna just circle back to drive-ins and mom and pops and dollar theaters, because if you're a dollar theater, you could really make money. You could really make money now because they have all but expired. I haven't seen a dollar theater in many moons. They may exist. I just haven't seen them. But I think that this is an opportunity to replay all of these old movies and still bring people in that really want that movie experience, because I think that opposed to just to drive-ins, and drive-ins may be a solution. I don't know if it's a long-term solution, but I think it is a solution. I think that the problem with drive-ins, and we could talk about this on a kind of a tech piece, but the getting 4K on a screen is not that big of a deal. I think that's doable.
Yeah,
it's the sound quality that you're going to get. If you try to tune in with a radio, you're certainly not going to put the old speaker on the window.
Why not? Old school.
No,
I don't think that's
I'm with Moose. No,
scratch up the paint.
Definitely not. I'm not going to a drive-in with that. At least not on a new theater, not on a new movie. I would do it on an old movie. But the other thing is if you could get a sound where it's Bluetooth, where they could broadcast a Bluetooth, where it wouldn't necessarily have to pair, but you could actually rent something. You could either have the speakers, or like a tune in AM radio kind of, because that's how they do it now.
Correct.
If you could have a rentable piece where you plug in and then it grabs the signal from the hub that's, the concession
Right.
stand that's filming it or that's showing it, then you could bring that sound into your car and then have like a 5.1. I mean, that would be ideal, I think.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Oh, sorry. Look at
Greg,
Dave's
compose yourself,
comment.
Mike. Compose yourself.
Gigi probably does have a collection of driving movie speakers.
He knows.
Probably right there behind him.
He's my publicist.
That's how we live the thing. But Moose, the perfect example, and you mentioned it, is the fact Empire Strikes Back came out. And I think they did like 18, 19 million.
Isn't that crazy?
So,
yeah.
Yes. And versus Tenet, which is a brand new movie, and it had, I think its budget was 200 million or something like that.
Correct.
But that's the part that you go, okay, yeah. As a matter of fact, Cinemark, where I live, what they're doing is they're renting out space. You bring your movie and they'll put it on the screen for you. And you can rent out the space. And and so you get the sound. Yeah, absolutely. So what a great idea that is. How long that'll go, I don't know. But that's one way to bring in some traffic, right?
I want to touch point on what Moose said about movie experience. So you talk about movie experience, you talk about driving, you talk about sitting in movie theater, right? We can talk about it because we've experienced both. We've sat. I can tell you numerous horror movies I've seen in drive-in that left me sleepless for nights, and in movie theaters where I saw Endgame and I thought was the biggest masterpiece ever created. Now, but the generation that's coming now, does that matter to them? Does it really matter that they don't go to a movie theater? Are they really missing something that they don't know that they got the experience of? So, you talk about the movie experience, but the generation that's coming now, I mean, that doesn't mean anything to them.
Well, I think what you're going to see.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're absolutely right. Again, God, that's one of the fears that I think that could happen with a lot of the things. I mean, you look at any of the type of experiences, whether it's AM radio, people almost would say, "What's radio right now?" They don't even know what radio is. Right. They don't know what commercials are because everything is streaming. So I think that in the future, if you look at what Mulan did with Disney and releasing it right to streaming, and then they made, I don't know, 60 plus $1 million off of it, just right to streaming. Is that good enough to make a movie? I don't know.
Well,
that would be the future of the way movies are released right in your home. You're going to get a better experience than you would at some theaters. Now, well, I'm trying to see if I could pull up some of the additional stuff here for
while you're doing that, I just wanted to add to what you guys are talking about, which is the fact that going back again, a piece of who has the power. So you might start to see some of the movie makers have power over the actors and actresses when it comes to contracts, because the dollars are going to be less. Like you said, Mulan, 60 million. That's much less than you would have come out when it was released at a theater.
Correct.
And the other piece I think you're going to see is because of the younger crowd today that do everything mobile, a lot of things mobile. And so I think what you're going to start to see is an increase of gaming. You're going to start to see things like that come into play with, we've talked about the Microsoft pieces and online play. You're going to see an increase in maybe even home theater systems. I think you can start to see that increase, because I was reading something earlier that said they expected the sales to double by 2023. And I think that probably has something to do with the fact that if I'm going to watch it at home, I'm going to get that same experience as far as the sound goes. So once that starts, like you guys say, this could be the ultimate downfall for these bigger theaters, because once you start being comfortable and want to be in your home to watch it, you're not going to go.
Well, here's the other piece for the drive-in movie theater piece. It doesn't have to be a drive-in theater. As a matter of fact, in New York City, they have what's called the Skyline Drive-In. It's not a drive-in. It's actually outdoor seating with an outdoor huge screen along the New York skyline. So there's going to be innovative things here that's going to take place. You talk about, I think the big pieces in the warm states like a Florida, like a California, or even like in the city where you can do it during the summer, in New York City. Outdoor theaters you'll start to see a boom as long as the weather supports them. Yep. I think that's the experience. I think that's the next the evolution of the experience of the theater. People want to be somewhere different in their home. It's not the technology piece, it's not the screen, it's not the music, it's not the sound, because you get that at home.
Yeah,
not everybody does.
Yeah, now that's true. Now let me add a couple things, because I failed to mention the things that are no longer available from previously. So if we're talking about 8 tracks or AM FM radio. Some of the younger people don't know what that is because everything is on demand. So if you want a podcast, you just turn it on. You don't have to wait for, like Tuesdays at 9 p.m. to catch your favorite podcast. You can get it whenever you want. It's up and it's like, boom.
What was that date
Here,
again? What was the time? Moose, what was the time again? What days and what time?
Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Got you.
And not that there's anything wrong with waiting for that, by the way, and watching it live.
No, yeah. There's nothing wrong with waiting. But that's the thing is that it's a microwave society and you want it right now. I want it right now. I don't want to wait. I want it right now. Where's my meal? I need it right now. And as you look at that and as things go away, like theaters could possibly do, I think outside seating, I know somebody that was just out west recently and they saw at an office complex, they were doing the same thing. It was outside seating. You come in, they were playing a movie. I don't know what movie it was, I have no idea, but they're playing a movie and you get to see it. So yeah, I think that's the thing. I think theaters certainly have come a long way, home theaters with from rear speakers, because everybody wants that surround that. But there's Dolby Atmos now, which I don't mean to go all tech on you right now, but it's better than 7.1 because it allows to the speakers to fill in spaces that are circumferences. It's a sphere,
it's like a circle.
Yeah, it's like a sphere of sound, and that's what Dolby Atmos, and that's the newest stuff. So it's really good. I mean, there's really good experiences now for home theater expansion. It's better than they've been in many, 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 many years.
Listen to the collector. He has it.
I do. That's the thing. You want to be able to get these things and enjoy your experiences. There's a lot of people that can't experience that at home. I will tell you that. And there's nothing wrong. I think Gene mentions it. Like what are dates now for your kids? Maybe for you, I don't know. What are your dates like when you go? Hey, yeah, I'm going on a date. We're going to the movies. Well, that's completely out now because that was the standard date that you had. You went to the movies.
Correct.
Where do you go now? Hey, yeah. Well, we're going on a date. We're going to Dave's house, and we're going to
side of the building. The movie's projected on the side of the building.
We want to be inside. Just don't mind the bugs. Well, Moose, that just goes to tell you that for us, that was our go-to because we're nerds. Let's go see a movie, but may not be for everybody. But and Jean also mentioned that she thinks that we're going to see a huge purchase of theater tech in Christmas. I think you're exactly right. You are going to get that because now I'm starting to go, okay, I might not be at the theater for a long time. I need to upgrade some things.
Hey, Best Buy needs to open that special section that they had where they had all the premium stuff. The TVs. Well, a lot of them were phasing them out, but they need to expand on that now. People are going to be looking at that. Just to give you some facts really quick, Mulan, 200 million to produce, 67 million in the theaters that were open.
Yeah.
That were open. So you talk about, is that enough to make? That's a loss to me.
That is a loss, but they'll start budgeting that way to film the movie. I mean, Milan was
quality
supposed to be released inside of the theaters. They knew that wasn't going to happen. They didn't want to push it again, and a lot of these other things have been pushed. I mean, we talk about the James Bond being pushed to 2021.
That's huge.
The Black Widow movie being pushed to 2021. Dune being pushed again. What other Wonder Woman being pushed? What was the other one?
Well, Shazam 2 is being pushed.
Yes.
As of right now, Black Adam is not even on the scheduled movies now. They're pushed, but there's no push forward. There's no date for the release.
So you got the Batman, the Flash. Yep, all those have been put. They've replaced their predecessors' dates and pushed those movies even farther back. And to what Mike said, Black Adam's not even on the list. Wonder Woman's still on the bubble. I've for this year, for 2020, I've heard
for
one
Christmas,
or two things. I've heard one. Yes, I've heard one that's for Christmas. It's still in the theaters if the theaters are going to play it. But I also heard they may go straight to streaming.
Yeah, that's crazy. They do. I mean, you know what you're going to get. I mean, you're going to hope to get it off of product. Maybe merchandise, maybe something like that, maybe add-ons. Suicide Squad 2021.
Well, and these are being pushed, even some of them, to 2023.
Yeah.
Who knows who knows if the hype of comic book movies is still going to be existing in
That's right.
2022, 2023. This is very risky. They've already put the money into this. It's already budgeted in. They got the actor, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, is doing Black Adam. He's already getting paid to do this. And they even said the guy who's going to play Hawkman, that's going to be his side partner in this movie. But all this stuff is set in motion, and you're risking 2023 even further that this movie will be a hit and that people will still have interest. This may all die out.
Well, and in fairness to Black Adam, they've been talking about The Rock playing Black Adam for like 10 years already. So not much has changed for that piece.
Kind of like Gambit with what's his name?
I know you're talking about.
Come on,
Tatum Channing.
Yes.
Like that. Yeah, the ladies love him. Anyway, like he's been talking about doing Gambit for 10 years, and that still hasn't come to life.
Don't do it.
Yeah, and then so just to kind of show you, so the three major chains, two of them are staying open. The indefinite closure is Regal. We have a one close to where I live called Epic. They don't have very many theaters, so they're really small. I mean, they may have like 20 theaters for all I know. So not real big. But the two largest still in trouble even this year. Even last year they were in trouble, which is hard to believe. But I gotta believe that somebody in Hollywood, or a group in Hollywood, or a number of people would put up money to keep these people in business so that they could still do their job. I mean, they're over.
It's got to be an investment.
Well, and even up to this point, though, I mean, AMC had already laid off 98% of their staff up to this point. And I think that if I'm Moose, you're saying that Regal's going to close. I think it was suspended. Maybe I was wrong when I saw that, but I think they were saying suspended because they're probably afraid to say close. There's probably a lot involved with that.
They close. 536 stores will close Thursday.
No, I understand that. What I'm saying is I think they're saying they're suspending operations. They're not saying they're going out of business.
Oh, yeah. Furloughed is they're furloughing their employees to a later date. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Right. That's what they're saying. Nobody wants to hear that word.
Right. That's the point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and is it AMC that's what's that?
Yeah. I got news for you. It's happening. You can't.
How are they going to come back from that? Yeah.
And you're right. Just looking at the S&P Global, I don't want to get too financial here, but the credit rating, as Game God alluded to earlier, of it being downgraded. But again, it's to quote from AMC says, given our expectations for a high rate of cash burn, we believe the company will run out of liquidity within the next 6 months unless it's able to raise additional capital, which is unlikely. It's unlikely it's going to happen in 6 months. Unless
only if what you're saying, right? Yep. Only if what you're saying, Moose, is to get some people to come together and say, "Hey, we're going to hold on to this." But they got to figure something out because they can't just put money in it. They got to find a way to create money. So they got to get creative as well. They can't go if they go the way of Blockbuster and say, "Oh, we're not gonna grow and update our what we do," then they will go that direction.
The movie theaters need to buy Netflix. No, so just by the way, I kind of gave him a shout out. And Black Adam, the actor playing Hawkman is Aldous Hodge. Aldous Hodge. So good actor. No, you know him. If you saw his face, you'd know him. The name isn't familiar, but he's a great actor. I think he's great for the position.
Yeah. Well, we may never know.
the movie's on the bubble.
That was correct. I love that. Well, like I said, I think that it's possible that we may see theaters change. They may be going away, and it may be just a matter of time. So keep your ears peeled to that.
Hey, I'm really interested. You said something about Superman at the beginning, and I was not familiar with what you were talking about.
Yeah,
how were you going to talk about
that? Yeah, well, I'm glad.
Thanks for that transition.
No, I was just curious because we're talking about all these movies being pushed forward. I was curious where you were going with that.
Well, there's always the debate, faster than a speeding bullet, able to, So how fast is Superman? And we've always seen that. We've had the discussion here on the podcast, how fast is the Flash? Could the Flash beat Superman? Could Superman beat the Flash? And, in some of the comics, they've kind of extrapolated this and shown it, like, who's the fastest in DC, according to whoever wrote that particular comic for DC. I mean, DC published it, but still, I could go into some of the details. There was one of the comics that had like the Flash and Superman doing the race, I guess they call it, and they were going like 2,000 miles a second, which is they can go faster, but that's just an example of what is what's happening. So is Superman faster at running or is he faster at flying? Like that's another question,
Ooh.
But
well, listen, the Justice League solved that answer for us. So if you saw the Zack Snyder's Justice League and Superman looked at Flash as he was running, he's like, "Where are you going?" It's like so that solved it right there. I just want you to know, I'm clear who's fast. I think Flash was even surprised.
Yeah, well, he was, but the thing is that the Flash can open time portals. I mean, he can he goes through time. He's the time. What do they call it? The time. What's it called?
Oh gosh,
multiverse. The multiverse.
No,
time
the
continuing.
Time
The time continuum.
Time warp,
no.
Space time continuing. That's Star Trek. I don't know.
You're making it worse. Stop talking, Gigi. You're making it worse. Speed Force. There it is, Moose.
Speed Force. There we go. Speed Force.
Yeah. So,
in Superman's defense, he never tried.
That's
never
right.
tried.
You don't know. So one of this things called the Great Race, the illustrator did a chart in there. I want to kind of talk about that. So who's faster? Who's the fastest person? The Superman or the Flash? Which one?
Hey, I'm going with Superman.
Without you seeing the chart, I just want you to guess on the chart. I'm going to give you basically a 1 to 10 from the chart in the DC universe. Who's faster, Superman or the Flash?
I'm going to say the Flash.
Okay. All right.
I'm going with Superman. I'm going with Superman.
Okay. All right. Dave in the chat room thinks, of course, Superman can make time go backwards. Yes. We saw that in the movies.
Yes, he can.
That can happen.
Yep.
Yes.
Right.
All right. Well, let me see if I can. I'm gonna enlarge my screen here just for a moment.
And we can't guess the same one, so we have to do opposite. GG. So
oh no,
you
no,
take
no,
Superman,
I'm true. No, I'm true.
It's the same one.
Superman. No, Superman all the way.
Like
I said,
if I had to give my answer without seeing this particular piece, I would have just said Superman. Superman is faster. I mean, that's what I would say.
listen,
Because
Zack Snyder said it.
Superman comes with all kinds of powers. He's probably the most powerful person we've seen in any comic.
Not Homelander comes pretty close.
Prior to any comic, like Marvel has put out with these fancy things. I mean, Superman was the first ultimate good guy, like ultimate, right? I mean, nothing can hurt Superman.
Man, his name is original.
Except Kryptonite. Come on now, don't say nothing. Kryptonite.
Gene says in the chat room, the Flash, of course. Okay, and if that's the case, then with any of your DC knowledge, as much as you have, no matter how little, how small, doesn't matter. If you're listening to my voice, you're gonna have to come up with another name or the same name of who is faster than the Flash. Is there anyone? Is the question? Is there anyone faster?
Oh,
than
really? You're going that direction with it?
Is there
So you're saying if the Flash is the fastest, is anyone faster? Is that what you're saying?
Is there anyone faster that you think that would be faster than the Flash?
Well, Superman is for me.
Okay, yes. Other than Superman, is there anybody else?
No.
There can't be. I mean, how do you become the Flash superhero if you're not the fastest? You can't name yourself the Flash.
Hey, A-Train.
Cape is the Cape. Gene says the Cape slows Superman down.
He's got lag on there. He's got some
not
drag.
not very aerodynamic. All right. Well, let me just start out here. So let's just go from this great race in this particular comic. As we know, comics can change, issue to issue. So
right.
You could die in one comic and then come back to life in the next. It doesn't matter.
And be faster.
This one says Kid Flash at number 10 is he's the 10th fastest character.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, number 9, Shazam.
What?
Sorry, you guys didn't see anything, did you?
No.
I didn't see anything.
That.
Yes.
Well, you had the green screen behind you, so no, we didn't.
That's true. Yeah,
Slight flicker.
Number 8, Godspeed. I don't know. I don't even know who that is.
That's a Flash villain.
I know he's Flash villain, but I don't know who it is. No. Anybody with the name
Reverse
God,
Flash.
their name is has no credibility in my eyes.
And what you say? Anybody with the word God in their name?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I saw you looked at me. I saw that.
Took you a while to get it though.
Yeah,
no, it didn't register for me because I'm like, this is beneath me.
Both of you. All right. Number 7. Number 7. This is surprising me. Surprise. Wonder Woman. I'm like, what? What is this? Wonder Woman, what is the 7th fastest?
Hey, I want that list audited, by the way.
I want
Now, here's what
I agree.
Well, based on the movie though, I could see that.
How?
She showed. I'm just saying she showed the speed in the movie.
Listen,
stopping the
if we're
bullets.
going by the movie, if we're going by the movie, Superman's the fastest.
No, my point being is that I can see that because based on the movie that they showed her. So
agreed. Okay,
I don't agree with it, but yeah,
running, but like with the bullets and the ching ching ching. I got you. Okay. All right. This one, number 6, Cheetah.
Wonder Woman's Wonder Woman's
that's what we'll see
rival.
right? Or WWE 4. Number 5, Black Racer. It's got to be another Flash villain. I don't know who it is. I don't know anything about it.
I have heard of Black Racer. I'm not familiar, but so I really can't speak to that.
Twirl. I would do the twirl here for you right now, Gene, but I can't.
Do it.
Number 4. Here's where it gets interesting. Number 4, Superman.
What? That list is wrong. That list is wrong. I'm done.
I would put
done.
Number 1 is Superman. Is what I would say.
I had to lean back because the mic was going to get real high. No way.
Hey,
no way.
The list don't lie.
Okay. The list don't lie. I'm done.
Gene and I are correct. Gene and I are correct.
Number 3, Reverse Flash.
Oh, I even said Reverse Flash earlier. Nice. Reverse Flash.
All right. Number 2, it says Barry Allen. So that's the Flash. Man, that's
what?
That.
Are you kidding? Number 2 is Barry Allen.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm starting to lose faith in
the list is wrong. I lost faith when you told me the numbers.
Number 1. Here it goes. Number 1, it says Wally West is faster than
so they separated them. Very nice. And I do agree with it. Wally West is faster than Barry Allen. Absolutely.
Which is really the Flash. So it's either way you would have been right, but still the Flash. But they separated.
That list was bogus. There was like 6 flashes. There's like 6 flashes on that list.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. Well, I mean, how can you be Reverse Flash and not be as fast? Come on. You got to give that
exactly
credibility.
Yep. Well, this goes to my point that you can't have a name of the listen, stop and listen. Let me explain it to you. You can't have a name of the Flash as a superhero and not be the fastest person. Otherwise, you're not the Flash.
You're not.
I'm just saying.
Right. He's just a blur.
Number 1, the Carolina Reaper. Dave says in the chat room. This has got to be.
Hey, Dave, not your best there.
Yeah, come on, man.
Not your best, Dave. Hey, are you off today? Are you even paying attention?
He's not even. He's watching.
That's not your best. I'm a little embarrassed with that one.
Watching pro football. And not be the fastest. Yeah, I agree. Look, Superman is still the old guy for me.
That's different. You can have a name of Superman. You can be super.
How is that different?
In many things. But you're not going to be the best. You can be the fastest, the flashiest.
Then call him Jack of all trades.
Listen to me. Right. If Superman isn't faster than the Flash, there's a problem because Superman is the equalizer of all of the superheroes, much like Homelander in The Boys. But I'm just saying, like, he has got to be the one to control people. Like, that means that Flash could rule Superman. Like, you'll never catch.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Now, hold on. Let's go back. Let's go to Justice League. Oh, let's go to the Justice League animation. Who's the leader most of the time in the animation?
I'm not talking about the Batman. We're talking about.
No. And that's because Superman lets him. Superman allows him to be the leader.
No, because if Batman can be that, you're saying that he can take out Superman. That's what you're saying. So my point being is that the Flash, Dave literally just came back into the fold. I bring him back into my fold.
Okay, redeemed himself. That's a good one.
Says, specifically, what's so super about being slower than someone else?
That doesn't make sense because that's not his only power. If that was his only power, absolutely.
Aha. Now you see, you spoke out of both sides of your mouth, being the only power and trying to talk about Batman.
No, I'm responding to Dave's comment. It doesn't to say you have to be faster than someone else to be super. That doesn't make sense. You're Superman because you have all these different qualities. You can do all these different things. And that's the way it is.
Superman's the top of the line. There's no excellent man. There's no perfect man. There's Superman, right?
Hey,
and
listen,
that's it.
I agree. He's the top of the line, but you can't compare one power. He has all the powers. He just is not as fast as the Flash. It's okay, guys. It's okay not to be as fast as the Flash. It's okay.
If the Flash, Reverse Flash, let's just go with Reverse Flash.
Hey, Gene, can you send these guys some tissues in the mail, please? Because they're going to need it after this conversation.
Listen to me. Reverse Flash is faster than Superman. Now, how is Superman supposed to stop Reverse Flash?
Correct.
If he's faster, come on.
He's a bad guy.
You're saying his other powers won't work?
What?
You're saying his other powers won't work?
Listen to me.
If Reverse Flash is the fastest person, it is no way that Superman can catch him. He can't catch him with his eyes.
He doesn't have to.
Code, his speed, nothing. There's no way.
Hey, is Miss Marvel more powerful than Thanos?
Nope.
GG?
Nope.
So how can she defeat him? How can she keep him from? She did. The only thing that saved him was the gauntlet. The only thing that saved him was the Infinity Stone. So you don't have to be as fast to defeat somebody.
I like this guy. He wants to try to use some other topic to save this topic.
Yeah.
You can trip flat. There you go. Thanks, Gene. Absolutely.
Stop one if you can't catch him. I agree. That's my thing.
That's the silliest argument. That's the silliest argument.
What? How's that a silly argument? That's a valid argument.
Oh.
So you're saying if the Flash is the fastest, nobody can. Are you saying nobody can defeat the Flash if he's the fastest?
Listen, Gingerbread Man said it the best. You can't catch me. I'm the Gingerbread Man. They caught him.
He's not the fastest.
So they caught him. They ended him. So
not because they were faster.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, man. There's more to it than just than speed. Speed is not the ultimate power. Is that what you guys are saying? Speed's the ultimate power.
You got to be able to stop somebody if speed.
No, you're saying speed's the ultimate power. That's what you're telling me. I got you.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Ultimate power. No, ultimate power is Batman, right? Who wins, Batman or Superman?
I'm just making you. Superman wins, absolutely.
That's not what. No,
that's not what you said. That's what you said.
I made a comparison. Because you said that's why Superman's the equalizer because he can do all these different things. My point was that Batman was the one in charge of everything. So that's where I was. It doesn't mean just because you have all of these doesn't mean that you're the one that's going to be the one in charge.
Dave says the Superman eyes laser faster than the Flash.
Yes, I will agree with that. Absolutely.
So they're faster than the Flash?
Yeah, his lasers are faster. Yes.
Wait a minute.
Come on, man.
Oh, so you're saying they're not?
I'm saying they're not.
Oh my goodness! I don't know where to go. I'm lost.
Wow.
My man can travel through time, but his laser eyes beat him.
He can't outrun lasers.
Can't outrun lasers, but I'll travel through time. Watch it.
Hey, you're talking about Superman's lasers, not just any laser.
Yeah. That's why he's got to be faster.
He's not. You just read that he wasn't. You just read it. There you go.
That's right. Superman can outrun his own lasers. That's a good question. And let me ask you, that brings me to another story. It's a really fun little piece there because I bet you if he's flying fast, we've never seen him use his eyes when he's flying really super fast. So you know.
We haven't.
So that he may not be able to get those off, Dave. All right. But listen, this is a story. I wanted to do a video or a movie like of a 5-minute movie, nothing big. But of all of these stray lasers from like Star Wars, like I want to be on a planet where all of a sudden you just get pelted by lasers, continue to travel throughout space and going, man, where are these lasers coming from? But it was because of the battles that was happening, but they were traveling so far and then they
missed. Those are the missed ones. Just step out of the way, you'll be good.
They got to go somewhere, right?
Laser storm, photon storms.
Laser storm. Nice. That's a good
Laser Wars.
That's the Game God's new name. That's his new name. Laser Storm. Sorry.
Laser Storm.
Yes.
All right. That's what else? Hey, you got anything on Xbox, Game God? Tell me a little bit about Xbox before we get out of here.
I cannot believe what's happening already. So obviously all these systems, so the PS5 and the Xbox One Series X, whatever it's called, they're all in testers' hands right now. They're being tested. They're getting to play them behind closed doors. The word on the street is that the Xbox Series X, just standing there on an idle screen, gets hot.
What?
That's not
Right
good.
now, what? So you can argue two things. One is if the system is getting hot, you would rather the system on the outside get hot than the inside. So the machine is doing its job of expelling all the heat from outside the system. So it's pulling all the heat out. So that's one way you go. The second thing is that if it's getting hot on a standby screen, what's going to happen when you start pushing these games
4K,
at
8K.
8K? You know what's going to? Hey, there should be a label on the package that says Macy Flames, part of the process. You know, I don't understand what's going on here. If it's just the Rogue Laser, that is funny.
That is funny. See? Now you see that. This is. Hey, I copyright that, Dave. We can go in on this. I have these.
But Dave, thanks for the real Dave for coming in. You can tell the difference.
Dave's
There's a
made it
distinct
back.
difference. Yeah. So it's scary to know because the Microsoft in the past has had issues with overheating, particularly going back to the 360 days.
Yeah, sure.
Xbox 360, there was a whole lawsuit about the overheating issue,
Right?
And with the red ring of death,
I never
and
got
all
any
that
money from that. I need some.
no, it was only it was a class action. I think you only get $2. There was so many people.
Oh.
So at the end of it all, this is not good news for them because they have a history of this, and this may hurt them before they're even out. So it's only been a couple of people who said it. So let's see how mainstream this gets.
So are you saying that it's getting hot or it's actually overheating?
No, it's getting hot. The machine is hot.
The thing is that don't let that, you know, don't let it sit somewhere in a non-ventilated area, but a reduced ventilated area, like in a TV stand or whatever, because that would be bad. And the problem is that when you get that compact, you want to reduce fan noise. You can't put big fans in there. One, because it doesn't fit. Two, you're trying to reduce that noise to make it quiet. So then you have, so you have heat sinkers that get really hot. You got to have fans still. You got to have something to reduce that heat. And by the way, Apple did a great job of this with the trash can that they made back in 2013, which I have a couple of. It's a great system. It keeps very well low temperatures, and you can't hear it at all. It's and I don't want to go into details, but it's just so much quieter than any other PC that you've ever heard of. But let me also mention though that PCs in general, when you start really doing gaming and a lot of streaming and a lot of graphics, they get really hot. So much so that if you don't know, a lot of these PCs have intercoolers in them with water that runs through to cool down the air around the gaming board. So that's impressive, and I've seen these things work.
Nice little tech piece.
Really cool.
Nice little tech piece, Moose.
Yeah.
So I mean, here's the wording exactly. They said is that it doesn't make any noise. It is silent as a quiet night. It didn't make any noise, but it's really hot, and the console is emitting heat like crazy. It's almost like a fireplace shaft.
Wow.
You can heat up it says you can heat up your flat with it.
So this is twofold then. This serves a greater purpose to be able to heat up your place while you play the game. Yeah. It also may be a ploy to say, hey, you can't just put this underneath the counter. You just got to be on the top next to your TV so everybody sees it.
It should never be. It should anything with that kind of power, PC, video game system. Listen, back in the days, the receivers, audio receivers, they would get hot. Yeah. So you can put these things in it. But I can tell you right now, if it doesn't burn down my house and it doesn't go on fire, it can be as hot as it want to be. No one should be touching the machine anyway.
What if it changes the color of your TV stand?
That's okay. I'll get a metal one.
You don't get a metal one. The whole thing will be hot then.
Hey, so for those people who say, "Oh, this is nice," and they want to touch it, don't touch. You'll burn yourself.
I say just buy a coaster for it and put it on a coaster.
A coaster, very nice. Xbox coaster. That's the hey.
Xbox,
we trademarked
Xbox
that
quartz coaster, and that way you're good. You don't have any problem.
1999.
Yeah. Anyway. Oh,
well, yeah, that's big. That's big.
That's real big. That's real big. They're gonna have some problems if they don't fix it. That's for sure. Hey guys, thanks for everything tonight. Thanks for your feedback. Thanks for your talking. Thanks for joining us in the chat room. Thanks for listening on your podcast. As I've always said, listening to a podcast, the best way to show your love is to share it with the people that you know, because ultimately that's the way it goes. Just share it, talk about it, tell somebody to listen to Podcast for Sci-Fi. We appreciate it so much. Don't forget, same time next week. How about that?
I was just leaving. Da-da-da-da.
Nerd alert, nerd alert, nerd alert, nerd alert.
You've been listening to Podcast for Sci-Fi with Moose, Game God, and Magic Mike. Nerds have more fun. If it's anything sci-fi, we're talking about it. We had fun, and we hope you did too. We have to split, but we'll be back soon. In the meantime, hit us up at podcast4sci-fi.com. This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. Come to life.